You know what's funny? You, the super genius chosen one, you asked for a sign and then somehow, magically, this video appears on your screen. And even though you know that most of these types of videos are a waste of your time and disappointing, you clicked anyway. And because you clicked anyway, you will find everything you've ever dreamed of in a couple of days. All of the happiness, all of the satisfaction, all of the meaning, all of the energy, all of the everything you've ever dreamed of is just a couple of days away for everyone in the world at any given moment in time. No matter your age, no matter what place you're in right now in your life, everything you dream of is a couple of days away at all times. If you understand what I'm about to tell you. Now, at some point in my life, I didn't understand this. And I believe that all of the things I mentioned, all of the money, all of the energy, all of the happiness was a destination that needed to be reached. If I have enough money, if I am strong enough, if I'm checked enough, if I sell enough art, if I have enough exhibitions, if I have whatever you want to fill in there, then I will achieve happiness. Then I will achieve my destiny, the place that I want to be at. And when all of those things happened, except for the girls, when all of those things happened, I realized that all of it was a lie. All of it was part of my life already. I just couldn't see it. I just couldn't find it. So here's what happens. At some point, because I have this destination in mind, I start to work for it. I start to do the research. I start to watch all the videos. I start to read all of the books because I want to find the most efficient way to become an artist. I want to find the most efficient way to sell art. I want to find how to have exhibitions, how to have collectors lining up and buying my work. And after reading all of those books, all of those biographies and all of those videos on YouTube and everything, nothing actually happened. The reality is that all of that research was just procrastination in disguise. I wasn't actually doing anything. And more importantly, because I was not doing anything, I felt terrible. I didn't feel good. It didn't felt like I was growing massively. I was just stagnating. Every time I was in this dream world, this fantasy of the future, I felt somewhat okay, but then I stepped in reality and I saw that nothing happened. Everything was the same. My bank account was the same. I was still miserable. I still had nothing. And so I knew that something had to be done. And what did I do? I locked myself up. No books, no internet, no nothing, no phone uses. I locked myself up for 3 months during the summer in an apartment. And in that apartment, I wanted to become Da Vinci. This was my dream. I wanted to become some kind of Da Vinci thing. And so I started copy-pasting Da Vinci's method. I started copy-pasting his polyphasic sleeping patterns. And I tried to invent something of my own. And in that apartment building, I worked every single day. 7 days 7, while everybody else was going to the festivals and having a great time and drinking alcohol and doing all of the young people stuff. What happened in that apartment building? I started to become invincible. I felt absolutely amazing. This negative feeling just evaporated out of nothing. And I invented a way to paint with lightning from the sky, 50,000 volts of static electricity. I felt like a god, literally the impersonification of Zeus, throwing lightning on paintings like a fucking god. It was absolutely exhilarating. And then slowly I snowballed in some kind of positive vein, some kind of positive momentum. Things started to happen. People were asking me for exhibition opportunities, and so I went on exhibitions, group exhibitions and all sorts of exhibitions, even museum exhibitions. I started to win awards. I started to make money from my art. I started to make money from my poetry because I was also winning awards there, and everything snowballed in a positive direction. During that whole period, not just me, but everybody else surrounding me, they felt it. They knew that something was happening. They knew that something was along the horizon for me. And they just saw it. People sense things. And then somehow, for some reason, I started to stagnate. I started to do nothing. I started to just take it all for granted. And for a very long period of time, nothing happened. And during that stagnation period, I started to feel miserable. what happens? The awards were won, the exhibitions were had, the inventions were made, the paintings were there, and I started to feel bad. And the longer the stagnation period lasted, the worse I started to feel. And then, the strangest thing happens. Because I was stagnating, I wasn't really doing anything, I was making some mistakes. For some reason, a fault of my own, the bailiffs come knocking at my door. The government is there. They want their money because I made some mistakes. I was delaying some tax return and all. So I needed to pay $15,000. And I didn't have $15,000. And immediately I envisioned this future. What if everybody suddenly realizes that I'm just an imposter, that I'm just a fraud, that I'm just a nobody, that I'm just a fool? My entire art thing will just fall apart and people will see that I was just lucky, you know? And in that moment, I feel despair. I'm imagining the bailiffs coming a couple of weeks later, taking all of my stuff away. I'm imagining all of the neighbors like looking down on me. I'm imagining all of these shameful feelings. And for a week or 2 weeks or something, I'm in absolute agonizing pain, mental pain that I'm causing to myself. When I'm walking on the streets, I'm becoming dizzy. I'm literally, like when I'm running a little bit, I'm becoming dizzy. For the next 3 months, I make this mindset shift that this is going to be the best thing ever, that this is going to lift me up in a new level of life, and make that mindset shift. And the next 3 months are absolutely amazing. For some reason, I figure out how to lift the entire business up. I go to beyond the 10K a month price point, and those 3 months are absolutely godlike. I feel amazing again. The power is running through my veins. The masculinity is omnipresent. Now, this is already a very important and powerful realization. In this whole journey, there are 2 moments where I feel invincible, where I feel absolutely fucking great. When I'm in the apartment building and right after the bailiffs knock on my door. When I'm in the apartment building, there is nothing. There is no money, there are no girls, there are no exhibitions, there are no rewards, there is literally nothing to be happy about. In the second journey, in the second stage, there is everything. There are awards, there are exhibitions, there is money, there is an invention, there is this whole lightning thing already happens. And I feel as good in both moments. And so what does that mean? It means that the money and the awards and the exhibitions and all of that doesn't actually matter at all. It doesn't matter at all. I had the ability to feel amazing when I had nothing in the apartment building. And so what is the similarity between the 2 situations? It is growing. It is actually chasing the future. It is actually chasing something that is going to lift you up. And so the journey of the chasing is where all the happiness is found. The journey of the chasing, that is where you find the energy. That is where you find this exhilarating, powerful, masculine feeling. This is by design. This is how nature has designed men. Women might not feel that way. Women might not feel that way. But if you're a guy, this is how you were designed. Nature designed you that if you would go on the hunt and risk your life, then you will feel absolutely fucking amazing. The key to happiness for men is very easy to achieve. And once I realized this, I started to see it in everything in my life. Let's take working out, for example. I recently achieved the 50 kilogram chin up. This is whatever result. It is a pretty good result, I would say. And so I achieved this. And the journey from 45 kg to 50 kg felt the exact same as the journey from 15 kg to 25 kg. It felt the exact same. You are as happy at both of those moments in time. And you are absolutely sad and miserable when you have an injury, when you stop working out. There was this period where I stopped working out for a year or 2. All of that happiness went away. It is the chase, it is the growth, it is you on a particular trajectory, on a particular journey that will give you all the happiness that you want. And so if you're a guy, you are very lucky. Happiness is literally a couple of hours away. The moment you go on the hunt, the moment you risk your life. If you are doing chin-ups, you risk a bicep tear or something, like you risk some small element. When you risk something and you go on the hunt, then happiness instantly floods through your body. Instantly. This is the beauty of being a guy. If you are in that apartment building, you risk all of the FOMO, all of the missing out on all of the events. And then you chase this higher thing. You will absolutely be mesmerized by the feelings you can generate. Now this is phase 1. This is nothing yet. There's also phase 2. Sadly enough, most people, they never actually enter phase 1, or they never sustain phase 1. They go into phase 1 for a couple of months, and then, just like I did the first time, they stagnate. Because they're satisfied. They don't need more things. They don't need, I'm already okay with who I, like all of that BS. Stagnation is nothing more than inviting the downfall to come. And so let's think about phase 2. What happens when you are that happy, energized, satisfied, meaningful, fulfilled self? What happens when you're that guy and you walk around in the world? This is phase 2. Now, I cannot prove this scientifically. I cannot prove that this is how life works. But somehow, I've been around. This is how I observe life to be. Somehow, life has 2 veins. One fortune vein and one misfortune vein. The fortune vein is there. It's all around you. All sorts of opportunities constantly come in your way. Constantly. And then there's this misfortune vein with all sorts of bad shit that can constantly happen. When you arrive in phase 1, the fortune vein somehow comes closer. Somehow you can tap into that fortune vein. Somehow girls start to magically out of nowhere message you. They didn't for a long time, and then somehow they message you. Somehow they sense things. Somehow the universe knows what is going on. And so that fortune vein comes close. You are able to start to tap into that fortune vein more often. And the more you tap into that fortune vein, the more fortune befalls on you. You are not better at this stage. You are not doing more things. It's like things just happen because of this fortune vein. You are constantly chasing and on this hunt, and things just start to happen. Sometimes the difference between 100,000 views on a video and 1,000 views on a video is literally 2% of energy. The viewers that just sense there's something going on. They just know that the energy is there, that the good vibes, that the desire to help them is there. They just know it's 2%. Sometimes the difference between the girl in the club wanting to have sex with you and the girl in the club not wanting to have sex with you is just 5% of happiness and fulfillment and satisfaction. They sense it. They sense that there's more energy than all of the other guys in the club. And they don't know why, but they assume there's a reason. And that assumption of reason is enough for them to feel attracted to you. It's just a couple of percentage away. And so this is this fortune vein. Things just start to happen. You're not better. You're not richer. You don't have more knowledge. This is the thing. When the bailiffs knocked on my door, and the leveling up that I did was not with more knowledge that I found in new books that I hadn't read yet. No, it was with knowledge I already knew for many, many years, but didn't execute on. And so this is a key. The hunt is execution. It is not reading. It is not watching videos. It is not studying. It is not trying to find the best and most efficient way to do the thing that you want to do. That is not hunting. That is not what I'm talking about. That is not tapping into that fortune vein thing. You don't tap into that fortune vein with 2 or 3 hours of work a day. That's just not how it happens. You tap into that by executing, not forcing, not trying to go for 14 hours a day, but you have to execute. You cannot ponder on things all of the time. For some reason, again, I don't have scientific explanation for this. For some reason, the creator the God, the universe, the forces, the energy forces that are all around us, for some reason, they bring the veins closer, or the people or the souls closer to the veins when they are doing things. Thinking is not the same as doing. Everything happens in the doing. And when everything is happening, there is this snowball effect. And the moment your snowball becomes bigger and bigger and bigger, it just starts to annihilate all of the problems in front of you as if they never even existed in the first place. As if you've made them up in your own mind. As if this whole reality that you're inhibiting right now is made up by your own mind and can be changed at any given moment by your own mind. You can at any given moment just become happy and satisfied and energized if you understand what I just said to you. And so how are you going to tap into that fortune stream that is all around you, all of those opportunities? How are you going to start executing? Of course, by downloading my free PDF execution checklist, where I list the 50 best strategies from the 50 best artists to execute at all times and push them out of that stagnating state. This is only for artists. And for those who are in that stagnating phase and want to learn how to start, I have a video, Starting an Art Business, a guide for introverts without an audience, link in the description and in the end screen. That said, get the hell out of here.